This video is going to be split up into two parts because I think it's going to go a lot longer than I want it to. I want it to be about 15 minutes, but it's probably going to be closer to 40 because we talk slow and bullshit. So, all right, let's just get into it, I guess. What is up, guys? Bingo here. I'm with the TheDuelFactory for not our podcast. I know we're doing something that's not our one video we do every week. So we wanted to sit down and pick a deck and decide to theory it together on video for the January, February, March format of 2020. And this week or this month, whatever we're structuring this as, it's invoked. So we're going to go over the deck strengths, weaknesses, how to build around the current metagame, as well as like where we think the best way for the deck to go. So it's not the most straightforward video. We don't have the deck list planned out, but that's what we're going to talk through. So if you guys enjoy theory, you should enjoy this type of video. So Joe, invoked, obviously, it has its problems. It always has. That being, it hard loses to hand traps in general, but it's our fan favorite of ours. So for a baseline, you want to do standard 3 Alistair, 3 Meltdown.
Yeah, so for engine pieces, right, or engine requirement, one of the strengths of the deck is 1-card engine. So we need 3 Alistair, 3 Meltdown, and Terraforming. Like, those are non-negotiable. Yeah. So let's put those in there. So let's see here. 3 hats, Magical Meltdown, and we cry every time when these cards get negated. Like, yeah, there's no way around that.
Yeah, your normal summon based deck, and your field spells are hard once per turn. So the supplemental engine has been pretty stable for a while. I think we're going with the Mekk Knight engine, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Now the question is, do we play the standard 6 Mekk Knights, or do we want to play an additional one like Red Moon or Yellow? Is it Yellow Star? I think it's Yellow Star.
I've never been a big fan of those. I think they require too much setup to be good, but they can give you additional value off your blue sky.
Well, here's the thing. Are there any notable cards they can hit, like right now in the current format, if you think about it?
No, because, I mean, Yellow Star can't hit, like, I guess it could hit Last Resort if they don't have, or not Last Resort, it can hit Last Resort if they don't have Spiral Resort on field, but they're never not going to have that.
I'm trying to think, like Spiral, like, I guess it could hit Appaloosa, but it just burns an Appaloosa negate.
Like, anti-spells like see in play right now. It's mostly post-boarding, so yeah. You have other answers for it. So, honestly, I don't think so. There could be an argument to play, like, 3-3-1. But let's just start off with a 3-2-1.
I think we should start with 3-2-1 because like Nightfall is the only like good standalone one. The other two require your opponent to have some sort of board of some sort. So okay,
let's double back a little bit. Are we blinding second still, or are we trying to go first?
I think you have to blind second.
Yeah,
like that's the best way to play the deck. Like, you get more advantage off your Mekk Knights. Alistair's a better going second card than it is going first card. You have a better chance of winning going second. Plus, you get to see more cards in your hand, and that's kind of what this deck really needs.
The deck isn't the strongest. Like, it can OTK, but there's a million other decks that do it better. It's just like we're playing this for we're choosing to play this deck that it's just not as good as other options. So the strength is what is the biggest strength of this deck?
It's just the ability to put damage on board. Like, it puts a lot of damage. It can break boards easily too, if you think about it, because like Purg can just break an entire board on its own. Yeah. Plus, you like with what's it called? Like, you have multiple lines. You can play through multiple lines of interruption, which is kind of nice.
Purgatrio is like, it can almost break a spiral board on its own. Like, if you can get to it after the sleeper pop, but like, you're gonna have to burn the other cards in your hand. So yeah, I think that's the right way to go. Now, invocation, this usually depends on the draw spells we're playing, how many, but like, are we playing 2 or 3?
Well, I think we have to play Desires in the deck because you need the +1. Plus, okay, so the popular decks right now, right? So we're gonna say Spiral, the Luna deck, some sort of back row deck in either Guru Control and Altergeist, and then there's something else I'm missing, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So those are the decks that are being played right now, and Salamangreat, which deck that can also play an equal amount of hand traps that we can play. And then the most popular hand traps right now are what? Droll and DD Pro, right? Those are the two most popular other than Ash Blossom. So because of those being so prevalent, and I'm thinking that I think we have to play Desires in the deck. I think we should honestly play 3.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. A little bit of a different reason, because your play to get to Invocation, if you're blinding second, has an extremely good chance to get stopped by just the default boards that you're going to run into, as well as the hand traps. Like if you get drolled and like on your meltdown, you're still going to want Invocation so you can actually like do something. And
you need to be able to play. Yeah. That's the big thing.
Because if you can bait some sort of negation or interruption, like with your Alistair, and still have the exact follow-up of Invocation, I think it's worth it. So
it's like the good old John Moore said: if you're not fusing, you're losing. So we go by that logic.
So triple Invocation, and that's like the core engine, right?
Yeah, that's like these are to me these. Okay, so we should be at what 16 cards in the main deck right now.
Yeah.
All right, these are the non-negotiables. We have to play these.
All right, the last invoked main deck card, Book of the Law. Do we play it? Do we not play it?
You know, I'm not 100% sure because I know, like, playing in the past, like the option to search it off of Alistair the Meltdown Invoker is nice, but like being as how the format is, I don't know if we want to risk playing in the deck and like bricking on it by drawing it.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I don't know if it's like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna stick it in the side deck slot, just so I don't forget about it, and we'll come back to it. But yeah, it is just a hard brick, but it can help you win games you shouldn't have by having the option to search it. But
although I think
half of the time when you do search it, like it could have just been another Invocation, and the play would have been relatively similar.
Yeah, I think just searching Invocation just might be better though.
Yeah.
If you're in that position, I don't know though, but that's my thought initially.
All right. Like Book of the Law is like an all-in card, right? Like you're sending a discard to get it, and then you have to. It's a -1, so like if you're going for it, you need to be winning. And
you're only searching it for a game push, and it's only going to go through if your opponent doesn't have any options past your initial play. So
yeah,
I don't know on that one.
All right, so we're blinding second. What hand trap lineup do we play?
So I was going to ask you this earlier. How do you feel about Phantazmay right now?
Phantazmay in this deck, like where you're playing so many hand traps, like I don't mind it, because as long as we're not playing cards like Evenly Match and Imperm, where it directly conflicts in, I don't see a reason not to play it, because it can shuffle multiple hand traps in. It can shuffle other bricks into your deck, because you're going to need every card in your hand to be live in order to break the board, right?
Right. Okay, so here's my initial thoughts on it. So, like, pros, like, right? So the best deck right now is Spiral. It does a lot of link summoning too. So not only do you get like advantage of it, like link summoning, being able to see more cards and readjusting your hand, but it also has the added benefit in that specific matchup. Whereas if they link summon into a Helix after they have already activated drones and like restack the top of your deck, it has the added benefit of you can reveal the Phantazmay, draw into cards, and then reshuffle your deck. So then the top card of your deck's knowledge is now unknown.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee.
So you get a little bit of. Yeah, you have a little bit more mileage there and stuff like that. And then obviously it's going to work against the Luna deck because they have to go into some sort of link monster and stuff like that. But then you're going to come across like your Altergeist matchups and your Guru matchups, and where Phantazmay is going to do nothing in your hand. And you're at a disadvantage at that point because, one, that's a deck that 100% wants to go for setting trap cards and not link summoning. So you just have this big card in your hand that's doing nothing. So I think if we're going to play it, I think we should play 2 and not 3. So that way we have the option in our deck, but we're also not like making our hands less inconsistent against those types of decks, because you're going to see them if we take them somewhere. Like there's no getting around that. But I'd rather have the option of it in my deck than not have it at all.
I put 2 in there because I agree with the logic. You're not only going to be playing against it, like it's just a good utility to help unbrick your hands. So we'll stick with 2. Maybe we'll revisit it if we can't find the card pool. But all right, the next highest impact hand traps.
I think the next, so I think one of the it's probably higher impact right now, but I think the slot has to go to DD Crow versus Droll, because like don't get me wrong, like Droll's like super powerful
against,
but like it's a Spiral and Luna.
Yeah.
Spiral and Luna, because they do a lot of searching, but Droll also has like the hardened benefit of being a hard once per turn. I think it is, yeah, because you're only going to resolve it once, whereas DD Crow can have like multiple. Like if you're going to look at hand traps and you're going to open multiple, I'd rather see multiple Crow than multiple Droll and Lockbird.
Well, I mean, Crow is really good, but Droll is a turn ender, right? And we're just trying to win on turn 1. So outside of back row decks where Droll is just a blank, like it's useless, where DD Crow could have some utility against Altergeist, it could have some utility against Rogue.
Right. So
I would agree that DD Crow is worth playing in the main. I don't know if Droll isn't. But you want to.
So here's the thing.
You want to play 3 Crow?
Are you wanting to go like 3-2 of one, or you want to do like the 2-2 split? I mean, what sounds better to you at that point? Because I like the fact that Droll's a win, so access to Raijin if we wanted to play Raijin. So there's synergy that goes with that. But I don't think like Droll's like super effective against like stun decks, which I don't think Crow is like as. I don't think Crow's good against stun decks either, but it has like some added benefit for like Altergeist, like it can hit cards for manifestation. I don't know what you would hit in Guru Control other than the cards that would be brought back by Fiendus if it's being normal summoned. But I mean,
there's very niche applications, but there are still some at least, because you have the Cave Clash add back and then the Fiendus summon.
Right. So I'm just trying to think of how we should like incorporate it into the deck.
All right, well, let's just stick 3 in there for now. We'll adjust spacing afterwards. You want to do?
So was it Crow or?
I have 3 Crow in there right now. I haven't put Droll in yet. So
okay.
Let's Ash Blossom. Like I know people are drifting away from it, but it being a fire and it just being generically good, especially if you're taking this to a locals where. At least at mine, Spiral isn't everywhere. There's a lot of random rogue, so I just think Ash is solid.
It's the most generic hand trap that there is,
and without it, we're going to. Our other fire is going to be, was it Gizmek something?
Gizmek Kaku.
Yeah.
The Supreme something Sky Stag. I love this card. I think this card's so good.
This card is fantastic in this deck. The question is, do we play 2 or 3?
So, let me see here. If the monsters and the extra monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Target one face up extra monsters. Let's see. So, I don't think the summon affects hard once per turn, but I also... Like, here's the thing. Like, I don't want to... Like, I like this card, but I don't know if I want to commit to seeing multiples in hand consistently. So, that being said... But, I mean, I love the stats. I love the level. I love the attribute. I think we should probably, for now, since like we just got this card and we're going to test it, I think it should be at 2. I don't know if it's a 3 of, because like this card's fantastic, but like there's a lot of stuff to stop it too.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it forces a response, which is what you want just about every card in your hand to do, so that you can end with a big push with Purgatrio. So, I mean, it being a level 9. And not being a hard once per turn to summon, like it's essentially, See, the problem is if you're not going up against if you're going up against a control deck, it's just a dead card, unlike the Mekk Knight.
You don't get like huge mileage out of it. But I think it's kind of cool that you could just play Monster Zone and basically you just get a free body. So I mean, it still has merit there, but I think it gets sided out in stun matchups. But I think it's good enough to where you play 2 of it in the main deck, like for sure.
I mean, if you open Alistair in 2 of these, that's Mechaba plus VFD, so like that's pretty good.
Combos. Combos. I don't know. I think we should stick with 2 for now.
Yeah. All right, 2 of those. All right, so back to the hand traps. I'm at the 26 cards right now.
Yeah, we're at 26. We should be at 26 cards.
All right, so hand traps, we're playing a total of 6 interrupts and 2 Phantazmay right now. The question, do we play Gamma? High impact, good card with its downside being a brick. We're going to be playing Desires. Is it worth playing? Because if you open the Gamma, you're going to use it before you activate Desires, right?
Right. I think the problem is with Gamma, like for it to be like as high impact as like possible, I think you have to be able to play Lambda. And I don't know if I want to commit to playing Lambda at that point. You know what I mean? Like it's light. The hand trap's light. It's like it can be a turn ender, but I don't think it's something I want to commit to because we're already playing enough bricks.
Yeah, I mean,
like just
hand traps are like bricks in a sense where they don't progress your game state, right?
Right.
So, I mean, we're not going to get more engine pieces. So, as far as hand traps go, do we want to go back to like it was during Spiral format where it was 15 hand traps, or do we want to stick like 9 to 12 is like the sweet spot for going second deck?
I think like we should probably honestly stick to either like 9 to 12, because like don't get me wrong, like Spiral like still like a scary deck and like some of the other deck, but like we also have to remember like a lot of the cards that they had like they don't have anymore. Like we don't have Summon Sword anymore, Gunblur's not there, and stuff like that. So like we're not getting extra Link to Death, and we're not like losing our hands, but like they're still making like tough boards. So we need like something. We need like an equalizer at that point. So I think I like Gamma, but I don't think Gamma's like good across the board. We need like one like solid generic hand trap that meshes well.